Now let's take a very different approach from Kirsten Gillibrand. Okay,
Senator from New York, who is famous in my eyes for advocating, and I mean this literally, for no due process rights for men who are accused of sexual assault. She believes that if a woman accuses a man of sexual assault, that should end that man's not life in terms of that he should be put to death, but he should be kicked out of college, he should be put behind bars, whatever it may be, without due process rights. That's Kirsten Gillibrand's Me Too position.
Okay, so that's an issue-based objection. But a personality-based objection is what I have. I'm in the unique position now, Scott, take note of the date because it may not happen again, where I'm going to actually defend the Clintons.
Okay. What is it, the 23rd?
The 24th of January 2019. Take note of the date. And I'm going to cite it, too, when it said, hey, I'm objective about Hillary Clinton. But here's the point. Okay, Hillary Clinton, when she vacated her Senate seat to become Secretary of State, essentially handed her Senate seat over to Kirsten Gillibrand. Okay, she
for safekeeping.
For safekeeping in case you needed it back. Yeah. So Gillibrand then was all
until Chelsea reaches the right age. Yeah.
So Gillibrand was all down with the Clinton cause, and she was, big backer of her.
You saying back when Hillary Clinton was very popular, Kirsten Gillibrand backed.
Correct. No, but here's the point. Okay, so she backed her, of course, big time in the 2016 campaign. And then almost as soon as Hillary Clinton lost, Gillibrand, for political positioning for her inevitable presidential run.
It doesn't look good on
you. Know what she does? She goes out there and says, well, you know what? As in terms of the Me Too movement, so she can associate herself with that, I think maybe Bill Clinton should have resigned the presidency in the 1990s.
Yeah.
And you know what? If I'm the Clintons, I'm sitting there going, you little,
you took my largesse when it was offered, and then the minute that the well dried up, you turn your back.
See, to me, I look at that and I say that's an immediate disqualifier. Someone who's that blatantly, flagrantly political. But listen to her. Okay, listen to her announcement of her candidacy. Then I'm going to
run for president of the United States because as a young mom, I will fight for your children as hard as I would fight for my own. I believe that health care should be a right and not a privilege. I believe we should have better public schools because it shouldn't matter what block you grow up on. I believe we need to start rewarding work in this country again because anybody who wants to work hard should be able to get whatever training they need to earn their way into the middle class and to be able to have the American dream, which has always been for everyone.
Okay, now let me deconstruct that for you. Let me do a translation for our dear listeners here. Okay, in how she selected every single word in there, okay? She says she starts out by saying she's a young mom, so she projects her womanhood and her youth. Then she said healthcare is a right, which I've never seen. She wants it to be a right. She wants it to be a right. So she hits the bullseye, for leftists who want fully socialized healthcare.
Right.
Then she said she wants better schools, translation, throw even more money at failing public schools. She wants to start rewarding work in this country again.
Tim.
I don't even know what that means.
For a change, we're going to start rewarding work.
But of course, that makes her seem like she's down with the common folks, Scott.
Yeah. Well, no, she wants work. So if you're a worker, it's sort of. I remember when Clinton had working families. That was the Clinton invention, which was great. Okay, it was like because it's like everybody thinks they're in a working family. There's no human. You could be a welfare queen or a billionaire, and you still think, we're a working family.
Yeah, that's the most cleverly poll-tested phrase in a town. But she also. So Gillibrand also brings up training for people to get new jobs, which of course means more government spending.
Absolutely, yeah.
And of course she closes with the American dream for everyone. So, at least in her case, there are some of these things.
Hallelujah.
I will say, at least in her case, she says some things that you could say you're for or against. Okay, unlike
it's a bit more specific. Which, by the way,
Harris.
Sadly, I think the lesson the takeaway will be from that is that don't do what Gillibrand did. In other words, the lesson I think is going to be do it like Harris. Be aspirational and non-specific rather than saying anything that somebody can oppose. Because right now we're speaking in opposition to the specific items that Gillibrand said, and we're not speaking in opposition to the specific items about Kamala Harris because there's nothing to object to, right?
I will say this. I think Kamala Harris, Kamala Harris, I think she'll go deep into the primaries. I mean, it seems to make sense. She's got the kind of, assuming she's got a good organization. Kirsten Gillibrand, okay, to me,
she does have a good organization. She hired some fancy lawyer guy.
Harris?
Yeah.
She's getting
insider for her general counsel for her campaign. So she's off to the races. That's no piker.
She is top tier. Yeah. Gillibrand, on the other hand, I'll tell you what, I've never seen or rarely seen a more vacuous candidate than her. She offers absolutely nothing.
No.
She was a zero senator, backbencher, inconsequential, and then suddenly became woke.
Yeah.
She became woke, Scott.
So she got a ton of press from.
I mean,
Emma Solkowitz is the name of the NYU student who lied about being raped by a man named Paul Nungesser.
Right.
She complained to university authorities and the police, and there was zero evidence to be found to support the rape because, in fact, it didn't happen. This is the woman who started that Bear the Weight campaign where she carried a mattress all over campus lying about this guy raping her. And I keep saying lying about it, and you may say, well, why do you know? Can you know if it's a lie? And the reason why we know is because we have the Facebook messages and the text messages from after the alleged event where she went on as basically somebody who was interested in a romantic relationship with this guy who
maybe
then
she suddenly
her.
But maybe she suddenly became woke, Scott,
right,
and suddenly saw the
Gillibrand made a name for herself by having this woman come to the State of the Union and following her around with the mattress. So and she has not apologized to Mr. Nungesser or anybody else.
Nor will she.
Exactly right. Nor because she's shameless.